All the students are requested to join the meeting with their registration number, as your registration number and your name, like 2019, your number, then your name XYZ. And those students who cannot join due to the capacity limit on the Google platform, they are requested to join and attend the session at the YouTube Live. The link is provided in the groups.
Good morning, student.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tamboy sir. Good morning. Tamboy sir, आवाज येतोय?
हा, येतोय सर आवाज.
All of the participants are requested to keep their mics on mute when the guest is speaking to maintain the decorum of the program. We'll start in few minutes.
Ajay Shinde. Ajay?
Yes, sir.
What about rest of the students? Most of the students, they will not still know.
The students are joining.
Okay.
सगळ्या ग्रुप लीडर्सना विनंती आहे की त्यांनी व्हॉलेंटियर्स पर्यंत लिंक पोहोचवायची आहे. मेन ग्रुप वरती आपल्याला लिंक आलेली आहे. अटेंडन्स कंपल्सरी असेल, सो विद्यार्थ्यांनी जॉईन व्हायचं लवकरात लवकर. आपण थोड्याच वेळात सुरू करू.
Ram sir, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Ram
Ajay
sir.
sir,
Yes.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, audible.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
good morning, sir.
Good morning, Shruti.
Sir, as students are joining us, we'll wait for 2 minutes, then we'll start. Okay?
Take your time. I'm here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm not
Good
running
morning
away.
and welcome to the webinar.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Patil. How are you this morning?
Yes, thank you very much. Very fine, sir.
Thank you.
All the group leaders are requested to convey the message to volunteers. Our guest has joined us. We'll start in 2 minutes. सर सुरू करूयात आपण. डॉक्टर पाटील सर, डॉक्टर सावळे
Yes.
सर.
You can start. Please.
Oh, yes, sir, yes.
Good morning, everyone. This is Shruti Santosh Jangam, second year NSS volunteer, and today's host. It is said that one who is Vaishnav knows the pain of others and does good to others without letting pride enter his mind. That is, Vaishnav Janato Tene Kahiye Jo Pida Paraye Jane Re. So we'll start our program with the bhajan of Mahatma Gandhi ji, Vaishnav Janato. I request second year NSS volunteer Shriniket Mori to play the bhajan. Shriniket. Shriniket, are you there? Okay, thank you.
Shruti, it's not audible.
Yes, just a minute. It's some technical issue. Just a minute. Shriniket, I request you to replay this song.
So Anand,
Hello.
Anand, I'm seeing a new look of yours.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. This is lockdown effect, sir.
So I think our viewers are increasing. We have 76 viewers almost. 85.
Yes.
The minute it becomes 100, we'll start. So is everybody in their hometowns and houses as we have started this one, or they're all in a classroom?
They're at home, sir.
Okay. So your classes haven't started yet?
Not, sir. Online, it's going on.
So it must be very challenging to teach online, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's too difficult.
But any idea when the government is going to allow you to start on actual on-class kind of classes?
Maybe they're thinking in next month, sir. October end or November, like that. Maybe after Deepavali.
Okay. See, Anand, what I feel is that I will talk for about 40-45 minutes maximum. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then I'm expecting, like, the students also to participate and give some questions. I think Shruti can collect those questions and ask me. So then, I want to make it not like a very boring lecture or a bhashan.
Yes, sir.
Because Shruti says that she's going to sleep,
Just students are eager to ask question actually, sir.
Right. I think it will be more important because you see, it's been more than 30 years I was a student. So I do not know what the students are having as issues that they want to discuss.
Yes, sir, surely, sir. Sir, there is some technical issue with the playing of bhajan. I think.
Shruti,
Yes, sir.
you can collect questions in chat box
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
or directly they can ask to sir.
Anything. We'll keep it very casual,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
not heavy.
Yeah. So students are requested to ask their questions after the session and interact with the Mr. Akisetti, sir. So,
Right,
sir, we'll
right.
start right now. Shiniket, let it be. There is some issues with it. We'll move forward. Yeah, thank you. It is said that Veera Kadambai Tarik Katiki Maniya Sudhi Jaishina Paramupasya Veda Purane Nitya Sugita Rashtra Bhakti Karim Sugayam Bhavit. Arthat, Mother India. She looks beautiful with garland of warriors. She is worshipped by the scholars. She is praised to the verses of Vedas and Puranas. And she looked magnificent with embellishment of her patriotic souls. And we bow down in the praise of motherland. India, the nation of dreams, hopes, and aspirations. This nation is not made by geographical boundaries or piece of land. This nation is made by hardships, sacrifices, and the trust with destiny by the millions of Indians. Many have fought till their last breath so that India can live. And they are indeed the makers of this nation. And today is the birth anniversary of two such founding fathers of nation. Hello and very good morning, everyone. This is Shruti Santosh Jangam, second year NSS volunteer, and your host for today's webinar. And I welcome you to the special webinar, Designing Oneself, organized by College of Agriculture Pune and National Service Scheme, College of Agriculture Pune. On this special occasion of birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi ji and Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, the two great personalities, one who fought the Britishers with the ideas of Satya, Ahimsa and Satyagraha, and another, the Prime Minister, who gave the vision of utopian future from the dark evils of the past. Mahatma Gandhi ji paved the way for independence of India, and Shastri ji paved the way for bright future for independent India. And today, we, the future of this nation, are celebrating these two makers of India. So first of all, on the behalf of College of Agriculture Pune and NSS College of Agriculture Pune, I would like to welcome our chief guest and speaker for today's event, Honorable Mr. Ram Prasad Akisetti, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Moving forward, I would also like to welcome Associate Dean, College of Agriculture Pune, Honorable Dr. S.D. Masarkar, sir. Vice President of Student Council, Dr. Arun Kamble, sir. Respected Student Welfare Officer, Dr. P.V. Patil, sir. And NSS Program Officers, Honorable Dr. Savade, sir, Honorable Dr. Tamburi, sir, and Honorable Dr. Patil, sir. And most importantly, all the young minds who are eager to design themselves joined us on this virtual platform of Google Meet and YouTube. A very warm welcome to one and all. Now, moving forward, I would like to request second year NSS volunteer Rushikesh Ugle to briefly introduce our today's chief guest to our audience. Over to you, Rushikesh.
A very good morning to all of you. Myself Rushikesh Rajendra Ugle, NSS second year volunteer, College of Agriculture Pune. I am here to introduce our today's guest and speaker, Honorable Sri Ram Prasad Akisetti, sir. Mr. Ram Prasad Akisetti, sir, is the founder and managing director of Christopher Charles Benninger Architect Private Limited, CCBA. He has been associated with the firm for the past 25 years, during which time it has grown from a small practice to one of the country's premier architectural firms. With academic backgrounds in medicine, psychology, and anthropology, he has been into teaching and is also the author of the first Indian textbook on psychology called Psychology for Beginners. In addition to having written about architecture in the book titled as Architecture for Modern India and published photographs in more than 100 journals, and magazines in India and abroad. He has also ventured into the world of art by starting an exclusive art gallery called India House Art Gallery in Pune. He has toured around the world and lectured on art, architecture, and lifestyle at several forums. So today we are really delighted to have such an honored personality as a chief guest and speaker of our program. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishikesh. Now, without wasting the times and patience of the students, I would like to request our today's chief guest and speaker of the event, Mr. Ramprasad Akkisetti sir, to have a conversation with our students. As you say, sir, you are having the conversations. So
Thank
I
you.
may request you to take the floor. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. My name is Ram, and I have been associated with Dr. Anand Jadhav for almost now 5 to 6 years. Thank you, Anand, for inviting me. It so happened that I was yesterday around the same time driving in a car to Mumbai for a meeting with the Port Trust Authority of India, because Mumbai wants to develop the Eastern Docklands. And my guru and my boss, Professor Benninger, and I was traveling, and this young man, Dr. Anand Jadhav, calls me and says that you have to give a talk tomorrow. And I said, Anand, it's very difficult to give a talk. I don't know anything about agriculture. I've never interacted with students of agriculture. And what can I talk? And much less, what we all know everything about Gandhi and Shastri, but we really cannot talk much because everything is in perception. But he said, even if you just talk generally to the students about what is life and what is about career and all that, they will be more than happy. So, in short, what I'm trying to tell you is that I have not prepared any talk. What comes to my heart, I'm going to talk and share with you. A lot of it is going to be about what I have dealt with in my life, what my life experiences and learnings are about. And I was also told that many of you would like to listen in Hindi also. So I will waver between English and Hindi. So I'll try to make it as casual as possible. And this morning, Mr. Jadhav called me and said that, you would have to talk a little bit about Gandhi and Shastri. So I'm going to start with Mr. Jadhav's advice of giving a little bit about Gandhiji and Shastriji. What is very nice is that, over the last 4 or 5 years, we have changed our perception about 2nd of October, right? पहले तो हम लोग सिर्फ गांधी जयंती बनाया करते थे. So it's very nice that now we also remember Shastri ji, who is no less than Gandhi ji when it comes to a national figure. Gandhi ji is almost a phenomena for the last 150 years. When he was born in 1869, wherein Shastri ji was born in 1904, literally almost 35 years later. So one can say that these are national figures to us, and these national figures arose at the time as India was dealing with its destiny. It was creating history. India was like a nation which is about to be made. It was under slavery. So we know all those things. But when you look at how do we celebrate Gandhi's 150 years plus years? I mean, today we are celebrating, there are many that come to us as thoughts. How do we remember Gandhiji? The person who continuously reminds us of the service that he has imparted towards nation building. So I think that's a very important point we must all remember as a life example that what Gandhi gave us. In similar way, Shastri ji, if you really look at life of Shastri, even though his life has not been celebrated as much as Gandhi ji, but he is no less. He was the pioneer of the white revolution. He has created an awareness about the importance of milk and the importance of the nutritive value of milk in growing children as well as in the youth. So it really revolutionized in the nutritive value of the entire nation. Similarly, he was also the pioneer of Green Revolution. All of you are students of agriculture. In fact, this is something that you would have already known, probably more than I would know about Green Revolution. You are the students who are going to make my country more and more enriched with crops and trees and fruits and everything. That is what your education, I suppose, is teaching you. So in a way, what I feel is that all of you students of Agriculture College, I think you are a pivotal point between we as the citizens and the people who grow our crops. You are scientists. You are the well-wishers of our rural economy. You are the backbone of inventive ways of doing cultivation. I feel that this role that you have taken as students of agriculture is so important. And I would like to kind of, at a later point in my talk, I would talk about how important is your role in this nation building. If this country has to go without being hungry, I think your role is so important. It's probably more important than even the IT revolution. Now, when we look at Gandhiji and Shastriji, they have lived a selfless life to kind of create us as a kind of a ball that rolls even today. The whole nation is celebrating the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi and Shastriji. And when you look at their life and trace back, when did the seed for their purpose of life started? That was when they were 18. Gandhi, at the age of 18 itself, knew what was the purpose of his life. So did Shastriji. By the age of 18, he knew what was the purpose of his life. You understand why this age of 18 is very important? Have you all ever thought about why is the age 18 very important? It's a very important age. It's not just 18. Sometimes I have some of my pretty girls in the office saying that I want to be 18 forever. It's nice to be 18 forever, but there's an importance of being 18. So there is an age group between 18 to 21. That is nothing but the future of the entire country. Why is that we join a professional course like engineering, medicine, go into army, or prepare for entrance exams at the age of 18? We can do that even at the age of 15 or even at the age of 23, right? So have you ever thought about the importance of age 18? Does anybody know about this? So let me tell you. 18 is the age when physically our body is well matured. That is when we have the highest strength of the body. Okay? So that means physically we are well-rounded. We are like a full-blown body. We are strong. We are active. We have great energy levels. And 18 is also the age when our mind has almost completely biologically developed. So it's very important that we pick up the kids who are 18 and mold them. So it's an age of molding. So if army recruits people at age 18, that means they are taking young, fit bodies and making them go through this very strenuous exercise of, like fighting a war or something at the age of 18, because they will listen to us. They are ready to listen to people who want to teach them. They are ready to be molded. They want to be somebody. So 18 is a very important age, and all of you are in that group of 18 to 20, 21. So you must celebrate your youth. Also understand India is the youngest nation and the oldest civilization. What can be a great blessing that you're born in a nation which is the youngest nation? It's just 75 years old nation, which is nothing. It's a very young nation compared to most nations that are powerful, advanced, rich, whatever it is. America is 400 years old. So you can imagine that, in 75 years, how much we have traveled as a nation and how much we have built up. Today, we are the 5th largest economy in the world. Our GDP is the 5th largest GDP in the world. So in just 75 years, we have achieved all these things. And this country at this point has more than 50% of the population below age 30. That means we are very young, energetic, aspiring, and we are ready to run. So please respect your age, respect your youth, and respect the nation that you belong to. All of you together can actually like dream very big. Anand and I are in our late 40s and 50s. This year I became 50. So I wish I was born like 20 years later and I could be like 30. But I can't. My mother, who's sitting behind me, she gave me birth 50 years before. So, you know, like you must celebrate the idea of India. When we celebrate the idea of India, that celebration is locked up with your dreams of the youth. Youth is energy. So it's important that, like, you know, you recognize this energy. Now, youth also comes with its baggage. You know, you are in such an age where you have to decide your career. You're all emotionally in either love or out of love. You have to decide family. You have to decide about what you want to earn, how you want to earn, what position of the society that you want to function. You have to take care of your parents. You have to look after like youngsters. You have to do something. You want to be recognized. So there's just so many things happening at this particular age. Many of us find it like a big burden. Why? Because we all want to achieve all these things within 2-3 years. First, stop that. Understand our life is not just 4 years, 5 years, or 6 years. Sometimes, you know, in my office, I do interviews to recruit new architects. You know, last month only, I interviewed more than 1,700 applications I had to go through to select 6 architects in my office. And all of them were in a big rush. They all want to run. I would say stop and think. Life is not short. We all land up living nothing less than 70 to 80 years. It's very long. So the decisions that you make today are going to be like, you know, evolving and maturing in the next 50 to 60 years. So do not be in a rush. Sometimes back, I will listen to a couple of YouTube lectures of people who are young achievers. Our entire society is driving us. You must achieve this. You must buy your car before 30. You must get married before 27. You must travel abroad by the age of 35. Who has decided this? There's a whole life. The 50 years that you can spread out all these things and not pressurize your age that you belong to now. Celebrate it. Live every day as if you're never going to get it back again, right? So I think what is very important is that this particular period that you are in college, in youth, every day you must celebrate. Every day you should seek happiness. That is what is going to be the genetic mold that you will be developing your entire life about. It's not just about career. Career is a small part of the big life. Now, I'm going to tell you about, like, you know, how you should plan your life. See, when you are 18, I think the age is an age where you should focus on what you want to do in life. Do you want to be remembered for something you did as a work? Do you want to be remembered as a good human being? Do you want to be a good support system to your family and to your relatives? Do you want to be involved in social service? Like I was told that this is a talk which is given to NSS students. Am I correct? I can even see the NSS logo over here. See, by default, if you are a student of NSS, that means that there is service written in NSS, right? So service is prima donna, it's primary. That means service to the society in short. So somewhere you need to start planning your life. Who am I? What am I going to do? And how am I going to achieve that? It's not about like what your teachers tell about you should get the best marks and this and that. You know, you should study well. It's not about marks. Study well means like whatever you study, Are you able to practically implement it? Are you able to consume what you have studied? Do you have a memory of something? It's not about definitions. It's about how you use your study, how you use your education. Because in the end, when you actually are 30 years, nobody will remember a particular definition. But what you should remember is what is the purpose of that definition. Understand? So studies are important, but don't blindly study for the exams. Studies are important, but don't blindly study to get a degree. Degrees and exams are part of life, but that's not it. It's important that you understand the juice of your studies. It's what is that you take and remember back. You must close your eyes and able to remember what can be useful for you in the career. That is where you have completed your studies. Okay, so when you plan your life, you also have to think about, like, three kind of investments. The kind of people that you are associated with. It's very important. The kind of friends that you make, the kind of teachers that you befriend, the kind of people that you meet. It's very important. People are a very important part of your plan of your life. You cannot live singularly. You have to live in a community. So when you are living as a part of a community, आप एक समाज के व्यक्ति, सामाजिक हो. So you have to remember that, like, I am a human being in this society. How am I dealing with other members of my community? So you have to remember that, like, how are you as a person? Take a pen and or a pencil and a paper. Start writing down. Am I lazy? Write honestly. Be truthful to yourself. Am I an honest person? Yes or no? Can people trust me? Yes or no? Am I hardworking? Yes or no? Do I have good manners? Yes or no? Do I have a good schedule? Schedule means daily schedule, from the time that you wake up to the time that you sleep. Am I a good human being? All these things have been taught to us by our parents, our mothers, our brothers, fathers, relatives, even including your gurus. But how much of that actually we adopt it and internalize as our thinking process? So it's very important, like, when you design yourself, you have to understand, like, what sort of person am I? And write down. Writing down does not make you feel bad. It gives you a reflective idea of what sort of person you are. All of us know. Have I been cruel to somebody? If I have been cruel, why have I been cruel? Have I been selfish? Have I been a very over-smart person, or a very happy person? Have I been a criminal-minded person? So you must write down, when you start designing yourself, you must write down all aspects of your personality, and then start working on those issues. Suppose if you are a lazy person, write it down. I'm a lazy person. Then you also write down, like, how do I make myself non-lazy? Can I wake up at a particular time? Can I devote certain time to social work? Can I devote certain time for food? Can I devote certain time for studies? Right? So then automatically you're not going to be lazy. You will fall into a pattern of life. You will fall into a pattern of schedule. Then you need to ask yourself, like, what kind of temperament am I? Am I an angry person? Am I suicidal? Am I a selfish person? Or am I a happy person? So when you write yourself, you'll start getting the answers to yourself. Remember, you are an adult now. You can assume what are your qualities. Work on those qualities. When you start working on those qualities, you'll start getting answers yourself. Then next thing is that, like, what sort of friends that you have. You understand? It's very important that you remember the kind of friends or the people that are around you. Don't get attracted to people who are distracting you. While you kind of avoid that person, you must also kind of encourage that person to kind of correct his behavior or her behavior. The kind of people that you hang around with. What sort of people that are around you? You have teachers, gurus, social works, people who are important in the society, people who are hardworking. Not the kind of life that you should plan, like every day you're all the time in a cafe having a cup of tea, and trying to solve national problems and criticizing everything. When you start doing it, you start realizing how difficult it is to run this country, how difficult it is to run a family also as a unit, how difficult it is to run a company. There are hundreds of legal issues, hundreds of logistical issues, hundreds of knowledge issues. So you must understand, all this you will only remember, all this you will only be able to kind of solve if your sangat is very good. So the point that I want to make sure is that each one of you should have a great community around you, like a sangat. Understand? Now, one thing I have learned from my life is that I have unknowingly or knowingly met lots of people. But there are three kind of people that I always felt are always useful to us. And I feel like I should share that. You must have at least a doctor in your friend circle. Don't you all agree? That somebody or other will always fall sick and we need to seek advice from a doctor. Okay? So make friends with a doctor. At least one good friend that you should have who's a medical practitioner. And similarly, you should have one good friend who is a lawyer. Because we do live in a legal system. Our entire life is decided by legalities. What we should do, what we should not do, what is correct, what is not correct. Many times we make a mistake not because we want to intentionally make a mistake, because we do not know. We are unaware of those mistakes. They just happen. So try to have a friend amongst you, because you are now very young, in 20s or something. Amongst you, make friends with a lawyer. Similarly, make friends with an accountant. Money is very important. All of us need money. We cannot give like pravachan or bhashan on empty stomach. All of you are aiming that you should earn money through your education or through your work. So you need to have somebody who can advise you with your investments, your money and everything. Now, when I talk about investments, again, these investments must start now. See, when you start your life, now in a couple of years or a year from now, you will all start graduating, you get jobs, and then your investments start. You should start your investments in money very soon as you start your jobs and you start getting your salary. Your investment shouldn't be like, I want to buy my first bullet, You can buy, but wait for some time. At least 10 rupees of your life, every 10 rupees out of 100, you should invest in something. It can be something that you can use it when you grow up as a retirement fund, or when you kind of, decide to be an entrepreneur and it becomes a seed money to start some sort of business, so that you don't have to ask your parents, you don't have to ask your friends or borrow money. One of the things I've noticed, and this is something that I'm coming across a lot of times nowadays, is that many youth want to kind of rise up very fast. So they start borrowing money from bank, from family members, and they say that I need investment to kind of start a business, without even checking what are the pros and cons of that business. Don't do that. You want to start any business, work under somebody for at least 3 to 4 years, if not 5 years. Learn the trade. It's very important that you must understand you can do the mistakes under somebody's umbrella. But when you do the mistakes in your own umbrella, you're the one who is going to fall down. So invest in such a way that you have some money left and some experience that you have gained under somebody before you start your business. So these are all the things I'm telling you from my own experience. In my life, I've never taken a loan. Never means never. This whole India house also I've paid from our savings. And it's not that I'm born in some rich family. My father was an intelligence bureau central government officer. And we were like 3 boys. So we were a very middle class family where we had all the issues. Where does this next month's rations come from? How do we educate? How do we travel? What sort of clothes we wear? Everything was about a balance. It's not that we were blessed with great wealth, but we were able to create within 20 years great wealth. So each one of you can also create great wealth. So do not be in a rush. And there's a whole life for you to kind of decide on how you can develop your wealth. So to me, the kind of investment is first every 10 rupees out of your 100, you must put aside. And this even is for Anand and other professors. I don't know if Anand is doing. Okay. Second investment is in the kind of profession that you are. It's very important. Like, the day you study and give your exams, I have noticed this amongst most youth in India particularly. The day they graduate third year BSc Agriculture, they do not touch a book. That's wrong. That's the beginning point of when you actually start like studying. Third year जैसे एग्जाम्स पास हो गए, आपने किताबों को बंद कर दिया. मैं किसी के घर में देखता ही नहीं हूँ कोई किताब है. आप किताबों को छूते ही नहीं. क्यों? अब थर्ड ईयर तक आपने एग्जाम देने के लिए पढ़ा है, मगर जब आपके कॉलेज हो जाता है तब से एक्चुअली आपकी असली पढ़ाई चालू होती है. And you should keep open. You don't have to study just agriculture book. You study about economy, about politics, about like science, about engineering, about medicine. And now with phone and Google, you can study anything anywhere. So make it a point that you have to study even after you graduate. You are a student for life, not just student till you graduate your BSc Agriculture. Okay, that's one of the thing that I have noticed between people who are successful in the entire life and people who are not successful. People who are successful make it a point that they read at least an hour every single day. That's very important. Let it be anything. Let it be newspapers. Let it be your own core subject like engineering, medicine, agriculture, or whatever. Continuous upgrading and upkeeping with knowledge is extremely important. And you are in a profession which is continuously changing. And now with technology, every day there is a new technology. If you're not in the forefront of technology, if you're not in the forefront of new discoveries, kaput, you can imagine that somebody has taken over. So when you are as a student, you should study, but after you graduate, you are a student for the rest of your life. Study for an hour or two every single day. Okay. Now I've talked about investments in money, investments in your career and subject, and investments into your friends. It's very important when you make friends, you have to choose the friends who are of your types, who brings you peace, who brings you happiness, who brings you knowledge. Okay. One other thing your generation is going to face as a big problem is the WhatsApp friend groups, the Facebook friend groups. No, these are not friends. Recently I came across somebody in my family who was in love. They found a partner on a website. They were in love. They were chatting for 6 hours every single day. And they also broke up on WhatsApp. Can you imagine? So this is a very common thing which I'm noticing amongst youngsters like you. So, हमने WhatsApp breakup कर लिया. What is that? It's not that. See, use a tool like a tool, but this is not emotion. I'm sure a lot of you are in love, you are in relationship, you are dating. All these are very important part of your growing up as a youth. Do not discard that. But choose the avenue that you want to kind of, use your friendships. You need to cultivate. Meet people in real. Once in a week also, once in a month also, meet people in real. The conversations that you have when you are real is very different from the conversations that you have when you type on WhatsApp. I think real friendship is what you should look for. And there's no need of like having 1,000 people on your Facebook. You can have 5 good friends that you meet once in a month and exchange your heart. It's very important. And you need to cement those relationships. Okay. So when you graduate and you get like jobs, in my office, I have made it as a policy that like we give 2-3 times block of vacations. Like there's a Diwali block, then there is a New Year's block, then summer vacation, one week. But do you understand, like I have made it as a policy that like once in a year, all my staff must go to their house and spend time with their family and their relatives. आज के जमाने में ऐसे हो गया है कि we meet our family members, extended family members and relatives when किसी की शादी हुई तो बस तभी मिलते हैं, right? So that's not the way. You should make it a point to go and visit your relatives, because ultimately these are all your relatives and community members. They are going to stand by you when there is a crisis. They are going to stand by you when there is happiness. We are a social animal, correct? So we all must, like, cultivate our relationships. And those relationships should not be like, अरे उसने फोन नहीं किया तो मैं क्यों करूं? तो करो, कोई बात नहीं. You are a little bit more empowered person. You have a little bit more gyan. You are more knowledgeable. You're more evolved as a human being. So don't keep these things. Unless that person calls me, I'm going to call. I see this a lot in our society. To the point, like, if you really look at it, all of us live in societies, buildings, and, like, even work in colleges and go to colleges or work in offices. Like, one of the major things that, like, I could see as a sea change when I was growing up as a child is that there was something called neighborhood and neighbors. आज के जमाने में हम लोग कितने लोग अपने neighbors को good morning बोलते हैं? उतना छोड़ दो, आप लोग अभी 100 स्टूडेंट्स हैं, आप लोग में से कितने लोग आपके टीचर्स को गुड मॉर्निंग बोलते हैं सुबह सुबह कॉलेज को जब जाते हो? It's very important. Greetings is a very important beginner of any relationship. Most of you will walk like this into the college, not even noticing who are the adults or who are the seniors who are coming or who are the teachers who are coming. That's very bad. You have to greet. Namaste auntie, namaste uncle, namaste pitaji, namaste mataji, namaste anybody. Now, like, good morning teacher. Haven't we all been taught these things in our schooling? School में सिखाया ना 12 साल, फिर कॉलेज में आते क्या हो जाता है हम लोग? Isn't it something that we should all remember? That, like, we have been trained for 12 years of our life to wish. If you go to Japan, I've gone to Japan 3 times. Even in a train, people will say hello. You go to France, they will say bonjour. Even on a footpath, you don't need to know anybody. That greeting is the first point of breaking the barrier between two human beings. And I want all of you students from today onwards, pledge. See, what is important in Gandhiji's birthday is not to know just what is Gandhi's contribution, also to take some certain kind of decisions. So can we all make a pledge to ourselves? आज से मैं हर रोज मेरे जितने भी टीचर्स हैं उनको मैं विश करूंगा. कभी ना कभी, मॉर्निंग नहीं हुई तो आफ्टरनून, आफ्टरनून नहीं हुई तो शाम को नहीं हो तो रात को एटलीस्ट सोने के पहले, सर आई फॉरगॉट टू विश यू, हैव ए गुड नाइट, हैव ए गुड sleep. How beautiful that relationship becomes, isn't it? And it's such a simple, easy thing. So remember the power of wishing. I want all of you to note down these points. The power of wishing is the most important. Okay? The next thing is that, like, you should have a purpose for your life. When I was 18, when my father, like, my father hardly kind of, spent time with us when we were studying as students or anything. And I was 18, I was studying for medical entrance exams, this and that, and I got the medical seat. I was studying MBBS in Armed Forces Medical College. One of the things my father said, like, look, beta, you don't need to change the whole world. But if you can change just 1 or 2 people in your entire life, that's more than enough. And it stuck with me. It stuck with me. And since that day, every single time, I only found that, like, I've been able to change 1 or 2 people almost every year. And you don't need to change the entire nation, entire family, whatever. Just 1 or 2 people in your entire life. Now I can see almost 100 of you are there. 100 of you decide to change 2 people's life. Now, when I say changement, it's not like, like advising them what is the next sari they should wear or which restaurant they should go. No, you should bring them from where they are, from A to B. Suppose a person is at A and you need to bring them to B. This is what is called change. Change means traveling from one place to another in life. एक गरीब व्यक्ति होगा तो उसको एक मिडिल क्लास व्यक्ति कैसे बना सकोगे? एक अनपढ़ है तो उसको पढ़ा लिखा कैसे बनाओगे? एक आदमी को कोई स्किल नहीं है तो उसको एक स्किल सिखा के तुम उसको एक बेरोजगार से एक रोजगार कैसे बनाओ? एक बीमार व्यक्ति को बीमारी से उठाकर एक हेल्दी व्यक्ति कैसे बनाओ? एक मानसिक स्थिति में फंसा हुआ एक मनुष्य है तो उसको उस मानसिक स्थिति से निकाल के अच्छे मानसिक संतुलन में कैसे लेके आओ? These are called changes. You understand? Huh? If somebody is very poor and he doesn't even have like 500 rupees to pay for school fees, can you help that person financially? Little bit. 500 is nothing for most of us in living in Pune, right? I'm sure, like, you know, some of our students are even getting 5,000 rupees as stipend or like, you know, maybe pocket money, right? उसमें से 500 रुपए तुम निकाल के अगर तुम्हारे साथ साथ तुम किसी को गरीब गांव में कहीं गरीबी में जो फंसा हुआ है उसको एजुकेट कर सकते हो तो कल को आके वो तुम्हारा ऑफिस चलाएगा. That is the power of change. Don't give up. Change does not happen in 1 month, 1 year. Sometimes it takes like 20 years to see the result. Okay? Both Gandhi ji and Shastri ji spent their entire life in changing the perception of untouchability. Both of them have worked on the upliftment of Harijans. Right? और आज के जमाने में हम लोग आज भी यही बातें कर रहे हैं. We are talking about SC, ST, we are talking about OBC, we are talking about high class, low class, upper class, this and that. Why are we so stuck on that? Can we not go above that? भगवान ने सबको पैदा किया. चलो लास्ट मिनट में उसने डिसाइड किया कि चलो इसको गोरा बनाते हैं, इसको काला बनाते हैं, इसको अफ्रीका में पैदा करते हैं, इसको चाइना में पैदा करते हैं, इसको अपर कास्ट में, इसको हरिजन में, ये वो सब ऐसे उन्होंने थोड़ी डिसाइड किया. ये हम लोग ने बनाया. When you want to change, don't see these barriers. This is what you should remember. Gandhi ji did not see these barriers. He wanted to change, and we must keep this momentum. All are human beings. Be human. You remember that T-shirt that Salman Khan wears? Being human. It's very important. Being human is very important. Being human does not mean that like you hit below the belt. You know, one of the things like in armed forces, its army is a great equalizer. I studied there, right? So my teachers who were brigadiers and colonels, they used to tell us, sons, even in war, you should not hit below the belt. You know, all of you, we wear a belt, correct? Belt के नीचे मत मारो, उसका सारांश में ये बता. एक आदमी को अगर तुम गाली भी दे रहे हो ना, ऐसे चीजों पे गाली मत दो और ऐसे चीजों पे झगड़ा मत करो जो बदल नहीं सकता. Do not hit below the belt means do not get into a fight or an argument where the argument goes to the point that you hit below the belt. I'll give an example. Suppose if I am born in a certain caste, right? And हमारा तू मैं हो गया, हम झगड़ा कर रहे हैं, and you say that you are like that, you are that kind of low class. Never do that. You must criticize saying that you are a lazy person, you don't study hard, you don't have good manners. What a human being can change, only criticize on those issues. What he cannot change, do not criticize. Can I change my skin color? No. That becomes racism. Can I change my height? No. Can I change my physical disability? अगर तुम लंगड़े को लंगड़ा 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 बोलते रहोगे, एक दिन वो तेरा मॉडर्न करेगा ही करेगा. उसको चुभना नहीं चाहिए, राइट? उसी तरीके से एक आदमी को तुम उसका कास्ट के बारे में बार बार बोलते रहोगे तो उसको चुभेगा, एक दिन तुमको वो हिट करेगा. You must not talk about those things which human beings cannot change. Okay, remember this very important point. And in your age group, in our colleges, even in the time when I was studying as a student, people always used to hit below the belt. Never do that. अरे तेरा बाप रिक्शा ड्राइवर है, क्यों? Why are you hitting below the belt? He will remember that. एक दिन ऐसा बनेगा वो, he will be actually sitting in an interview in a big company, and you go to get that particular project. He will remember, इस साले ने मुझे है ना ऐसा गाली दिया था मेरे बचपन में, अब देख इसको मैं ये प्रोजेक्ट देता ही नहीं. 100% होता है. होता है क्यों? Right? So never criticize human beings on what they cannot change. If a person is bald, don't call him Ranju. If a person is born in a certain caste, don't call him this and that name. If a person is short and not very tall, don't call him like, hey, guitar, like that. Okay? Or if a person is born in a certain region, like we have very commonly we call Bihari. That's not the way you address people. Can a person change? He's born in Bihar. So should you victimize him? Don't we always say these things? These are the qualities of hitting below the belt. Never hit below the belt. Okay? You tell him that, hey, lazy fellow. Dirty fellow. अगर वो शुद्ध नहीं है, dirty है, उसके manners अच्छे नहीं है, तो उसको you can criticize on those issues to improve those qualities, but don't hit something which is born with. Okay, remember those things. So I've talked about investments, I've talked about respect, I've talked about how you should plan your life. Now, the most important thing what I want to tell you is that, in your generation, I don't see people traveling as much they should travel. And if they travel as a tourist. Now, there is a distinction between tourism and travel. Tourist जो होता है, ticket book करता है, hotels book करता है, they go to Goa, beach में, that is not travel. Travel means कल उठे, decide किया, I want to go to Amaravati, and I just go to Swargate. I get into the bus, and I just get into the bus with minimum money, and I start traveling, and I'm talking to a person next to me and talking to him, आप क्या करते हैं? And then he tells मेरी बीवी है, बच्चे हैं, 2 है, ये है, मेरा crops खराब हो गया, मैं पूना को बीज लेने आया, this and that. Then he will start telling me about his life narrations. Those are your real knowledge. So travel as a traveler, not as a tourist. And all of you must travel. All the 100 of you must pledge that out of 365 days, you must at least travel 1 week to 2 weeks alone with a purpose. Just पूरा देश में घूमो. I'm not saying that you should go to Dubai or Singapore. वो भी आएगा. Traveling is must. Human beings must travel. अभी आप जिस situation में बैठे हैं ना, high culture, high business, high economy, all this was possible because our forefathers traveled. अमेरिका ढूंढते, इंडिया ढूंढते किसी ने अमेरिका ढूंढ लिया, right? Columbus. So he was on a travel. He did not know what he was venturing into, right? So you must all travel aimlessly. Everyone above 18 must travel. Yes, your parents will tell you, बेटा जाना नहीं, यहाँ नहीं जाना, क्या जरूरत है ट्रैवल करना? नहीं, उस ट्रैवल में आपको इतना सीखने को मिलेगा, जिंदगी झिका देती है, जिंदगी सीखने को मिलेगा. And this is the age when you should start traveling. You have, I know that none of you spend more than 120 days in one semester in a college. That means 240 days. And out of which 120 days out of 360 days is your time. You're on vacation or you're, at your home, whatever it is. Out of those 120 days, which is not college time, I am sure each one of you can just spend 10 days traveling somewhere. Travel to Latur, travel to Amaravati, travel to Bihar, travel to Orissa, travel to Northeast. Most of us don't even travel to Northeast, and we all call them like a chinky. How derogatory it is. Because we don't know what it is. अगर आप एक बार नॉर्थ ईस्ट जाके आएंगे तो आपको पता चलेगा हाउ ब्यूटीफुल इट इज, हाउ ब्यूटीफुल द पीपल आर। कुआं में मेंढक जैसे बैठकर एक जगह, पुणे में, मैं पुणे में रहने वाला और मेरी पूरी जिंदगी जो है वैशाली, रूपाली और एग्रीकल्चर कॉलेज के बीच में है, नहीं, that's not what it is. Your life is not that. Expand your horizon. How did Gandhiji travel from Gujarat to South Africa and South Africa to England? इंग्लैंड में पढ़ाई करके आके लॉयर बने, साउथ अफ्रीका में उन्होंने ब्लैक पीपल के जो वहां के जो साउथ अफ्रीकन्स हैं उनकी स्थिति देखकर, that is where his revolution began against colonialism. Then he came to India, then he started. All this was not possible if he was just born, brought up and died in Porbandar. Am I correct? Look at Shastri ji, same thing. He was born in Murshidabad, but he traveled length and breadth of India. That is where he understood the plight of agriculture, the plight of milk, the plight of nutrition, how poor our society was, how poor our diet was. Even today, majority of Indians' diet is non-nutritious, very poor diet. That's why an average Indian is not able to work after 40. Wherein in global scenario, if you look at an average Frenchman or a Chinese or an American, even at 70, they're still able to work. Because our diet is very poor. So he had to increase the nutritive value of our diet. Similarly, you also should guide people when you're traveling. Go to any village, and I've done that. मैं गांव में गया था, and गांव में ऐसे हैं कि आपको एक पैसा खर्चा करने की जरूरत नहीं। अगर आपने बोला भाई माता जी मैं इस गांव से गुजर रहा हूँ, मुझे थोड़ा सा भूख लगा है, they will feed you, and they will even tell please sleep in our house. That is the travel. See your country. See your country, feel your country. I know that agriculture college must be having some rural exposure trips and all those things, but those are academic things. At your own personal level, you must travel. Every year decide that one corner of India I'm going to travel. And you must do this travel not with flight. Go in trains, go in buses, aimlessly. Just get into the bus in Fargate and see where it takes. Last stop तक. And ऐसे ऐसे व्यक्ति मिलते हैं आपको, आप समझ भी नहीं पाएंगे. मेरे एक ट्रैवल में ही मुझे क्रिस्टोफर साहब मिले थे. गलत बस पकड़ा था, मैं जाके संभाजी पार्क में बैठा, गलत बस पकड़ के दूसरे बस के वेटिंग कर लगे. उसी टाइम में उस पार्क में क्रिस्टोफर साहब आए थे, हम दोनों की पहचान हुई और हम दोनों ने बिजनेस चालू. समझ सकते हैं? So just because of one mistake of getting into a wrong bus has opened up my entire life, right? So make those kind of mistakes. Those are called productive mistakes. Those are called positive mistakes. You never know how you can see your life growing up, right? So travel is very, very important, and I want the teachers of agriculture college also to kind of enforce on the idea of traveling, not tourism. Okay? And all of your students of agriculture college, so you should be able to travel to villages. That's where our backbone, our economy, our agriculture is, and mingle with the people over there. If you mingle with the people over there, you will get to know what are their issues and how your education can be of use to them. The idea of your education should not be that you get like a lakh rupees salary and तुम्हारी एक बीवी होगी, एक लड़का होगा, एक लड़की होगी, एक सुखी परिवार रहेगा. नो, वो सिर्फ टीवी में होता है. आपका purpose of education is that how you going to transform the society, and each one of you must transform the society even in a small way. समझ रहे हैं? Then next thing what I want to talk about is that how much should you study? If you have 24 hours, if you are studying more than 4 hours a day, you're wasting your time. Your teachers, your mother especially, and everybody in your colony will tell, भाई 10 से 12 घंटा पढ़ना है. नहीं, 4 घंटे से ज्यादा पढ़ोगे तो बेवकूफ बनोगे. मैं ये बता रहा हूँ, टीचर्स के सामने ही बता रहा हूँ. जितना ज्यादा पढ़ोगे उतना बेवकूफ ज्यादा बनोगे. टीचर जी, पाटिल साहब, मुझे बाद में कोसिएगा मत. सिर्फ 3-4 घंटे पढ़ो, लगन से पढ़ो. बाकी का समय जो है, जो पढ़ा है उसको प्रैक्टिकल से समझो. बाहर जाओ, कमरे के बाहर जाओ, घर के बाहर जाओ और उसको अप्लाई करने की सोचो. तभी तुम्हारे ब्लड सिस्टम में, नर्वस सिस्टम में वो सब्जेक्ट रह जाता है. उसी का जो उपयोग करके तुम एक जॉब कर सकते हो, एक कारोबार चला सकते हो. पढ़ाई से तुम सिर्फ रट्टा मारे, कुछ भी याद नहीं रहेगा. आज मैंने आप लोगों से एक क्वेश्चन पूछा 10वीं कक्षा का, आप बता नहीं पाओगे. क्या फायदा? एक क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा 10वीं क्लास का, आप नहीं बता पाओगे, क्या फायदा? So it's not just study. Do not be over studying and underperforming in life. 4 hours maximum, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, almost every single day study, and that's about it. Study is important, but not too much of study. Put it into practice. Suppose, I don't know in agriculture college, suppose you are given a chapter that types of rice. You remember there are 10 types of rice. These are the, what is it called? Biological names. Yeah, something you have that, no, botanical names or something. ये सब हो गया. बाहर जाके देखो वो 10 किस्म के राइस कैसे उगते हैं, कितना पानी दिया गया, what is the salinity of that water, what is the soil condition of that water, what is the kind of productivity in that. ये राइस पकने के बाद वो कैसे हम लोग हार्वेस्ट करते हैं, what are the godowns, what is the kind of cold storage systems, what kind of storage system, what is the baggage, what is the economy around rice, कहाँ पैदा होता है, कितना मिलता है, कहाँ उसका खरीदी होती है, कहाँ supply chain होता है. The entire supply chain you should see. Unless you see this whole thing in practical as making it as part of your life, your study is of no use. Tomorrow when you go for your IAS entrance exam or Maharashtra State Civil Service or something, they are never going to ask you a definition of that. They are going to ask you what are the issues that rice cultivators are facing. So if you are a traveler, you will understand the real issue is not about the soil or the diseases which they can control. The real issue is about the markets and how those markets are fluctuating. And why are they fluctuating? So those are the questions that you will get. Now the point that I want to end my talk is the power of question. As a student, each one of you must question everything, but don't be over smart. Start asking Dr. Anand Jadhav extraordinary questions. Questioning with ourselves. मैं क्यों पैदा हुआ? कारण क्या है? मेरा पर्पस क्या है? मैं जिंदगी में क्या करना चाहता हूँ? मेरी पढ़ाई का क्या कारण है? मैं क्यों पढ़ रहा हूँ? मैं क्या बनना चाहता हूँ? कैसे बनना चाहता हूँ? किस तरीके से बनना चाहता हूँ? These are the questions that you should ask. When you ask the question, then you will get the answer. So suppose if this is a glass, I should ask. Ram is now asking, what is this glass of water? How important is this water? Yes, biologically this water helps in hydrating my body. I should not waste this water. I should not throw it in the wash station. If I can't consume my full glass, what can I do? Maybe I can put it in the plant, right? Or I can reuse this water by drinking after 1 hour, right? How precious is water? What is the importance of water? What is the quantity of water what we have? How much water bodies we have? How much of water bodies are kind of destroyed in our country? What is the water table of our country? What is the current water table of Pune? How much? Do we have to dig 300 meters, 300 feet? How much water is required to grow, let's say, mustard? rice, how much water is consumed in manufacturing a Mahindra car, right? So you look at it, when you have something around you, like water, you can understand by asking questions and seeing in your mobile phone or Google. You have, without a teacher, educated yourself and become an expert on the subject called water. The power of questioning is very, very important. If you question, you will get the answer. And now that you're 18, you do not need to be taught. You can find the answers on your own. But the question is asking the right questions. Okay? So, now note down this point. I must question everything. Questioning does not mean मैं विप्लववादी बन जाता, terrorist बन जाता. Questioning is not that. Questioning about everything around you. That will make you a better human being in understanding everything, the value of everything. See, in the end, if I know the value of this shirt, then I will understand even before buying it. Do I need to buy this shirt? If I don't know the value of this shirt, I will make my decisions on इसका रंग अच्छा है, मेरे ऊपर है, ऐसे लगेगा, या ये खरीद लेते हैं because it's a brand. No. Most of us, if you look at it, 80% of our clothes, we never use them. Am I correct? We wear the same t-shirt, same shirt, same pant. Why? Because we have never questions. Do I need that shirt? Do I need to spend 1,500 rupees? Do I need that particular brand? What is my body type? If I'm really a fat person, should I wear a shirt where my tummy is showing? Comfort is very important. So the questioning starts from every little thing. Many times I have seen in marriages, in lunch or dinners, large lunches, वो आदमी ले जाता है, इतना भर लेता है खाना, वो क्वेश्चन पूछता ही नहीं है कि मुझे इतना भूख है कि नहीं, मुझे ये भी पसंद है, ये भी पसंद. अरे काहे को इतना भागे जा रहे हो भाई? हाँ? और खाता इतना है, बाकी का आधा फेंक देता है. Is it common or not? It's very common. So question, मेरी भूख कितनी है, मैं कितना खाऊं? Just add up. अच्छा लगा, go for a second serving. Right? So the power of question is extremely important in our life. So from today, I want to tell you one thing, that you should start questioning and try to be a good human being, not a successful human being. Success is not important, but being a good human being who questions, who helps, and who has a plan of life, and who does not disrespect others. Respect, जैसे आपको चाहिए, उसी तरह आपको दूसरे लोगों को भी देना. Then I now end my talk, and I'm sure that some of these things you can follow. And now I open the floor for questions.
Thank you so much, sir. As you said, sir, that if we want to change the world, we should start with ourselves. Because as Mahatma Gandhi ji has said, if you want to bring the change, then be the change. And as you emphasized on the investing on ourselves, investing on our thoughts, investing in our friends, I think it will be like the setting the ideals for society, which the society needs today, because society needs a revolution of moral and ethical stability and sustainability. And this can be brought by the young minds that you inspired today. And today's the revolution can be brought in by the thoughts which supports the peace, thoughts which supports the non-violence. Because as Gandhiji has said, you can fasten me into the shackles, you can torture me, you can even destroy my body, but you can never imprison my thoughts. And I think this will help us to be a good human being rather than a successful human being. So I may request the students now to start implementing the first thing sir told us, that is to start asking the questions. So I may open the floor for the questions. I request the volunteers to unmute their mic and have a conversation with Mr. Ram Prasad Patisetti, sir.
You see the button of questions का जो होता है नीचे, हाँ, post नहीं किया.
I request second year NSS volunteer Rushikesh Ube to ask his question to sir.
So my question is, how we should increase our productivity in whatever work we are doing? Because as we all are having 24 hours a day, so what would that technique or solutions you would like to advise to us?
Can you repeat that? It was not clear.
Yes, can you repeat the question?
Sir, how we should increase our productivity in whatever work we are doing?
Okay, very important point. That is something that I'm struggling every day. You know, typically I write down every day that I must do these 10 things, and I'll end up only doing 3 or 4 things. Okay, I'm sure like you also have the same issues, right? All of us have a desire list that मुझे ये करना है, ये करना है, ये करना है, and then I have to finish this, I have to finish, and we are not able to do that. Now, how do you increase your productivity? Is that like you must understand all of us have 24 hours. How many of you are sleeping 8 hours? You must sleep 8 hours at least. Everybody will tell you, वेदों के टाइम में उपनिषद में 4 घंटे sleep. That is for yogis. Modern man must sleep 8 hours and not starting at 2 a.m. and then sleep till 10 o'clock. Modern man must sleep to take care of the rest of the day before 12 and wake up around 7 or something. You must sleep at least 8 hours because you see, science has proven that your mind needs to relax at least 8 hours so that it can recycle the entire information that it has gathered in a day, process it, put it in different boxes. Your body, biological systems, organ systems inside, they need rest. So first, how to increase productivity? Sleep well. And then when you do wake up, eat at least 2 good meals. If your meal does not have a fruit or a juice or something which is high protein, I know that we are a country of vegetarians, but you must have a high protein. See, why protein is essential is that it's the building blocks of your body. We don't understand, like, see, productivity just doesn't improve like that. आप लोग तो agriculture में हो, आपको मालूम है एक जमीन का प्रोडक्टिविटी कैसे इंक्रीज होगा? आपने सीड डाला तो थोड़ी इंक्रीज होगा, इसको जमीन को तैयार करना होता है, अच्छा हवा, अच्छा पानी, अच्छा धूप, उसको थोड़ा सा आइडल रखना पड़ता है, जमीन को भी सुलाना पड़ता है, राइट? क्यों जादव साहब, जमीन को सुलाना पड़ता है कि नहीं? हाँ, तो आपकी बॉडी को अच्छा नींद दीजिए, अच्छा खुराक दीजिए, एंड देन आप खुद ब खुद देख के आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी अपने आप इंक्रीज हो जाएगी। आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी कहाँ नष्ट हो रहा है ये मैं बता रहा हूँ। हमारे सभी के जीवन में एक सौतन आ गई है, मोबाइल फोन। मोबाइल फोन के वजह से हम सबकी प्रोडक्टिविटी खत्म हो गई। जो पहले हम लोग के पास 2 घंटे हमारे पास फ्री मिलता था, वो 2-4 घंटे जो है टीवी सीरियल्स और मोबाइल फोन ने छीन लिया। So you need to keep your, first of all, put your mobile phone on do not disturb mode all the time. All the time. जिसमें सिर्फ 5 नंबर ही फोन कर सकते हैं। आपकी माँ, आपके अगर बीवी हो तो बीवी में वो देखना पड़ेगा, अगर वो बहुत डिस्टर्ब करने वाली तो मत कीजिएगा, ठीक है ना? क्योंकि मुझे मालूम है कोई तो खाना खाया, क्यों, कितना खाया, ऑफिस गए, पहुंचे नहीं पहुंचे, कितने बजे निकल गए, दैट्स ऑल फालतूगिरी, सीरियसली। You see, my mother is sitting behind, no? I gave my mother a warning. Phone आ गया ना, never call me. Only when if you feel that you are about to die, call me. So strict warning to my mother and parents. You know, do not call unnecessarily. You can call once in a day for 5 minutes. I'm safe, secure, and happy. That's all you need to tell. There's no need to kind of over communication. Our generation is over communicating, so hence we are less productive. Okay, first make your body happy and healthy. Good sleep, good food, happy, healthy. You look at it, your productivity will increase without doing anything.
Thank you so much.
I don't think it's all.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Ajay.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Ajay Shinde, second year NSS volunteer. So my question is, there are two ideas about competition. One is to compete with the others around us, and the second idea is to compete with ourselves.
Yes.
Sir, sir, which one is proper? What we should do?
Okay.
What's your opinion on this?
Okay, it's a very good question, and I'm quite happy that a person of your age is thinking about that. Competing with yourself is more important than competing with others. You see, when you compete with yourself, you are able to measure yourself. Am I Ajay Shinde a better version than the Ajay Shinde last year? That's the question that you need to ask. Like, जैसे आप लोग को हर वक्त नया मोबाइल चाहिए, नया वर्जन चाहिए, नया मॉडल चाहिए, अपग्रेड होता है, नए कपड़े चाहिए. Every year, Ajay Shinde should ask yourself, am I a better version of Ajay Shinde than 5 years back? You understand? So that is competing within yourself. And when you start doing it almost every year, I'm telling you, you will be the most successful person in competition with everybody else because you're continuously improving yourself. And then all the other people are left behind. Like, for example, last year, if you competed and you got like 40 marks in an exam out of 50 marks. So this year you should compete and you should improve your scores by 42 marks. Okay? So you are making your version a better version. Each one of you should always aim that, am I a better person, better version of myself than the last year? Then you look at it, you will be a better competitor and a successful winner amongst all your friends group or in your community.
Thank you, sir. Now I request volunteers to ask and can ask the question. Volunteer.
Anand, you have any questions?
No, sir, but I will abstract something about you. I'm having something in my mind, so I will put after question answer, sir.
So if you have no more questions,
But that's also
Shruti, your
Hello,
voice
sir.
is not audible. Ah.
Hello, Shruti.
Vaishnavi, you can talk. You can speak.
Good afternoon, sir. Actually, I would like to ask you that, as you told, purpose is really important in our life, and without that, our life is really a mess. So every day we meet new people and we communicate with them, and as we are a social, so unconsciously sometimes we get too involved in them and we forget our purpose, what we want actually. So my question is that, how to be conscious every time, I mean how to maintain that consciousness.
okay. So you're saying that, like, how do we function? Am I correct? Because some part I missed out. Or the purpose of, how do we keep our purpose of life or the goal intact? Is that correct? Vaishnavi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, how to live our life with consciousness. I mean,
With
how
conscious,
to maintain it.
that's a very, very tough question. Because conscious is something that, like, even today I'm asking, like, for example, when I'm talking to you, I'm consciously asking myself, has my talk made any impact or has it been irrelevant? So conscious is something that continuously we have to be engaged with. It's a dialogue within ourselves. You understand? Like, the dialogue it's about everything. Like, for example, as I told you about the consciousness about water, the consciousness about how much to eat food. Japanese society has somehow managed to perfect this idea of consciousness. There's a concept called Ikigai. There's a book also written on Ikigai. At every stage, like, for example, let's assume there are 4 major stages of life. and now you're in the youth. You had finished your childhood, student years, now you're in youth. Very soon you will become a married person and you will live a middle-aged life where your challenges are different. Today your challenges are different. And when you are an old man, which is the longest period, 20 to 30 years you spend in old age. So consciousness. So how do you kind of decide 50 years of life today at age 20? You know? So one of the things what is very, very important is that like you need to understand by writing in a piece of paper. Suppose you want to be cautious about certain things. You need to ask a question. Do I have enough money? Do I have enough energy? Do I have enough physical power? Right? Why it is important is that if you have more physical power, physical strength, you can do some work up to till certain age because your physique is not going to be the same for the rest of your life. There will be a time that you will get tired. At the age of 50 that I am in, I can get diabetes, blood pressure, heart issues, XYZ. 10 years from now, the biggest problem would be I would be lonely. I don't know how to spend my time. I am like reflective and I start criticizing the whole world. Kash mujhe pehle pata hota. So consciousness is something that like you have to live with as if you're married to your consciousness on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. But don't be in a rush. See, for example, one of the things that your generation undergoes as a conscious problem is that like you are always challenged by something which is called passion. What is passion? Passion is something which is fleeting. It's short-lived. You understand? So you're continuously struggling to invest your time in the idea of being fashionable. Now, fashion doesn't mean just the clothes. Fashion of the job. Fashion of the lifestyle. For example, at the time when I was educating, there was a fashion. Everybody must go for engineering or medicine. Today, everybody wants to be either as an MBA or in XYZ. So do not run after fashion. One of the conscious decisions you should understand, make to yourself or question yourself is, what is the type of body I have? What is the type of mind I have? What is the type of family that I come from? What are my responsibilities? And hence, what sort of thing I should direct my goals towards. If you are a person who is going to be from a very middle class family, your aspirations should be like dealt with at that level. You should question, do I need this? Do I not need this? Do I need a family or do I not need the family? So everything is about like the questions that you ask, and continuously you have to be conscious. And to evoke your consciousness, you need to practice the idea of loneliness or being alone. Today, we do not give any time to ourselves for being alone. The day when you are alone and silent for even half an hour, many questions that you can get can be answered. So try to, I think, like spend time alone, which will allow you to reflect and be very cautious about. I can't decide on like what are your thoughts, but whatever your thoughts are, try to be in the middle, not extremities. Neither be very low or nor be high. Always be in the balance of life. Your challenge would be, how do you balance everything in life?
Thank you, sir. And lastly,
Thank you, sir.
yes, thank you, Vaishnavi. Sir, I would like to ask one question to you. As you said, the reading of books is important in all this process of designing ourselves. So, sir, can you suggest some good readings for us, for all the students of College of Agriculture, Pune?
There is no one book, I would say. There is no one book because every book has some sort of lessons that we can borrow from. But what is more important is that instead of telling me read this book, because my interests may be completely different. Nowadays, my interest is in a lot in geopolitics. So, I'm not reading a particular question. The question that I'm asking is, what is the Kashmir problem? For example, if there is no one book which tells like this is the Kashmir. Kashmir problem is not about border. Ultimately, this is what I figured out. It's not about borders. It is about water. How many of us know that as a common man? It's more about water than about the boundary line. Do you understand? So like, it's not about like, what I tell you as what should be read, but it's about like, what are you interested in? Suppose, tell me, Shruti, what are you interested in? Tell me, what are your thoughts telling you? What is that one thing that you're interested in as of now?
Yes, so as of now, as you said, I'm also reading about some international relations. I'm currently reading the Pax Indica by Mr. Shashi Tharoor. So I was like, I'm quite a bibliophile, but my problem is that once I get involved in one thing, I used to I read all the books on the same theme. So I think, is it a good, or I should be like versatile in my choosing the theme or genre of the book?
No,
Because if I read one book, I'll go for the another book for international relation. I'll go the third one for the international relation.
See, we live in a time which is absolute blessing. There can be no better time than the kind of time that you're living in now. Because of Google, because of internet, you can read anything.
Yes.
Like my mother who was sitting behind me, recently her diabetes sugar levels went up and down. You will not believe it. Like for 2 days, I was researching on the internet on what is diabetes, what is sugar levels. And many times our doctors do not tell, they will just prescribe a tablet, but they will not tell what does the tablet do. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You understand? So I started reading about diabetes so much to the point I can say now I'm an expert, I can actually cure people. So it's not that like you need to go to a doctor to understand a particular theory or something. But whenever you're reading something, try to get to the core of the theory. Don't just read and link up something. Never a subject has been in isolation. I think something is gone. Can you
Yes,
hear
sir,
me?
just a minute. Yes, sir, I can hear you. Just a minute, there is some technical glitch.
Sir, you are audible.
Shruti, what happened? Who is sharing the screen? Why?
Yes, sir. Mr. Dheeraj Dorkar, you are requested to stop the screen sharing, please.
How he is daring to do such thing? Whether it is scheduled, Shruti?
Yes, sir. Just give me a minute, sir. I'll do. Just a minute. Yes, sir. Sorry for interruption. Extremely sorry for interruption.
So nowadays, when I'm reading, I'm never reading a book from cover to cover. Do you understand? Like recently, I started reading a book called Ikigai, in which there was a point about how the Japanese society lives the longest lifespan, and like why after a certain age, even in our Ayurvedic principles and in our villages, people eat at least 20% less than their hunger. I'm sure you must have heard about this. How the Japanese eat, if I have to eat 4 rotis to fulfill my hunger, how good it is if I eat just 3 and keep one space for 1 roti empty. Okay. So I started like asking this question, why do they do this? Then I went into nutrition. Then I went into searching on the internet about the time that we should eat, because why certain digestive juices are not secreted in the stomach after a certain time, and why white things should not be eaten after 7 p.m. You understand? Yeah, and if you start looking at it, you get the whole circle. So read with an idea that you need to have the entire story or the entire circle fulfilled. Don't just read once in one straight line. If you're reading about botany, read along with economy, read along with geography, read along with culture, read along with history, ask a question, where did pineapple come from, right? And read about taxonomy or its diseases, its uses, its nutritive value, everything, So internet allows us to have this 10 or 20 books together in one shot that you can start writing your own notes, which is what you need to internalize. So suppose if I want to look at an issue of Kashmir, I can just take one military version or I can take a political version, right? But I want to understand the entire thing. So I want to understand the geography, the geopolitics, the castes over there, the kind of tribes that were there, the kingdoms, the history, and today's relevance. And why are we fighting today? Why are we spending like billions of dollars, putting almost like 700,000 soldiers, the most militarized zone on the face of earth? Why? Then the question really comes like, is it really about border or is it something more? So become a police officer, be an investigative agent, watch Crime Patrol, investigate. That is the word. That is how you will start understanding, acha, ye karan hai. And then you start getting like really like excited because you want to come back from your college and you want to quickly pick up and do some more research and have a blackboard or a whiteboard somewhere. Start writing points. How does one connect to the other? How does this connect to this one? Right?
Yes, sir, surely. I will apply this in my further readings, surely. Now I request Dr. Jadhav sir to have a word with sir.
Thank you, Shruti.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, Patil sir is also there and all NSS team. And yesterday, Ram sir has given me the topic title, that is designing oneself. And I am amazed how this topic is, how the two words are important. And from my side, really it is we can say interpolated and correlated with whole talk, designing oneself, because the framework that Ram sir has is architectural background. So that title is also came from architecture, but I think he has touched all architecture of life.
Yes.
And that interpolated and correlated with Shastriji and Gandhiji very nicely. One more important thing, he has started from he's most practical person as I have seen. Plus, he touched the planning of life, early investment, and these are some points which needs to be understand or digested. Then greeting is also very important, sir. I have that experience. So greeting somebody, how make it happy to him. Then plus he also just 1 minute. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir, you are.
Shruti, am I audible?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
you are audible.
So then further, after that also power of wishing and greeting. Then another important thing I found very and like also, do not criticize below the belt. Really, this is the need, sir. This is the need of the society, because previously I used to come college by local train, and there are a lot of people who always means casually also they are on the below the belt in the casual discussion also. So that is very important point. One more important point that I like, and student may also like, that traveling. And what is the definition of traveling is nothing but the learning. As we had one tour with Ram sir somewhere in hydroponic unit at Khed Shivapur area. That journey is unforgettable to me. I learned a lot of things, sir. But I will not take that much time between you and students. And I'm really very much thankful, sir, to you, sir, for designing such nice talk on architecture of designing oneself. And within a short notice, you accepted. That is very, very satisfied me. And the NSS team also very eager to express their things on this issue. So from my side, there is no question. But really, I want to meet you, your mother sitting there. So I want to see your mother because I had not seen yet now. So I'm wishing good health to her. And that's all from my side. Over to you, Shruti.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jadhav, sir. Now I request the Student Welfare Officer of College of Agriculture, Pune, Dr. Pramod Patil, sir, to have a word with students.
Namaskar, sir. Ram Prasad, sir. Very nice, amazing lecture. I have enjoyed a lot. All students also. Respected Ram Prasad, sir, NSS officers, and my dear students. What I learned and observed, he told me, we are facing the same problem. And since 1991, I'm working here, last 30 years, and observed that from 2009, this has been changing the attitude of the students. Greetings, especially, Anand sir also told that our students, what happened, I don't know. That culture spoiled. Our agriculture culture was very nice, topmost in Pune, or compared to other colleges in Pune and also in India. Since 2009, we are facing the problem of the greetings. Yeah, students are greeting, but to whom? Suppose first semester they are studying or second semester studying, and those who are teachers, for example, 7 to 8 teachers are there. Suppose they are greeting them, good morning, sir, good afternoon, sir, good evening, sir. And when they will enter in next semester, third semester, they will not see to teachers. They are passing. Not that also, sir. Or say dean or vice chancellor will come, but they are not saying that good morning, sir, or not giving this smile. This is a problem. Why they have spoiled, I don't know. We have to work upon NSS program officers and NSS leaders, Shruti Jangam, etc. We have to work upon this one. This very serious issue. Means you are interested in marks only. After marks, nothing to do with teacher and college, and also college property. This is very bad thing since 2009. That means 12 years. This is facing. I'm facing this one. Very hurting me, this one. Very bad. Okay, let it be. But sir has given so many good points. That is power of 18 years. Very good power and good point also, sir. Very nice. And how many hours you have to study? That is 4 hours, sir. Very nice, sir. Otherwise, our students will study 16 hours, 18 hours, like that. But nothing will enter in the mind or brain. Very nice, sir. And what is meant by travel also you told. Very good. And how to help to others and not criticize the others to maybe labor or peon or any poor or SC/ST students or poor people also. Very nice, sir. And anybody will help us, sir, in future. If you'll greet, if you'll talk very politely, very lovingly, that will add to our networking of human. Anybody will help us in future. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So one of in future when your college reopens, I will visit your college.
Yes.
I think along with Dr. Anand Jadhav, I want to see your students in class, and I will help you. I think, as you mentioned, this particular idea of like the wishing culture has like disappeared. See, I want to directly kind of meet the students, and it's not very difficult. You can change it like in a minute's time. You know, like so something is holding them here. You know,
Yes.
from saying that, like, namaste. It's so easy. You need to just warm it out.
Yes.
So
Matter-
I will come once जब ये lockdown खत्म हो जाएगा और आपके classes start हो जाएंगे, I'll come because I was also part of NSS when I was a child. So it has been part of NCC, NSS, Scouts and Guides. All this were very much part of our schooling. So I also want to connect back to NSS, as well as I want to come and see your college once and address your students. And at that time, I will tell them the techniques of studying. In my life, I've never studied more than 4 hours. I've never studied more than 4 hours. But how do you remember? How do you study itself is a technique. When you know the technique, you can win the war.
That will be very great achievement for our college if you'll help us motivating the students.
I will teach them the techniques of studies. Like how do you study and without getting bored. Many times students get bored of studies, and it is boring to study the way they are studying. So, but if I tell you the techniques of how to study, then you will enjoy it.
Wishing is missing, sir. That will activate by you, sir.
Absolutely, we'll do that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Patil, sir. It was really great to have you, Mr. Akiseti sir, here with us, because honestly, I want to tell you, sir, that one thing. Yesterday, Dr. Zadhav sir told us that you will be coming for the webinar. We all the team read about you on the internet, and I personally had read your book a little bit, so I knew how will it be gonna, because we all team had a discussion with ourselves. It was like we are having such a great personality with us. All team was little bit tense, because having such a great personality with us, it was handling the pressure and all was difficult for us. But actually, I want to say that it was not a little bit of pressure for us in the event, because we didn't imagine honestly that we will be having a conversation with such a humble personality itself. And all the things you have told to the students, I think the students have inspired by it, and they will really follow it in their routine. Because हिंदी में जैसे कहते हैं कि अगर बात हिंदी में जैसे कहते हैं कि अगर सजदा अगर जमीन पे हो तो बात आसमानों तक तो पहुंचती ही है. So वैसे ही students will be following these things in their routine, and we will be looking forward to have your session with you on the in the college itself, in the offline session. So thank you so much on the behalf of. Yes, sir.
Shruti, one moment. So
Yes,
Shruti and NSS team, if you all ask me, define Ram, Mr. Ram Akiseti. So
Yes, sir.
I am having very 3 words, and that I have experienced. Most systematic, most planning, and always smiling. I
Yes.
have visited number of times to Ram sir, but he always, his face, just if I remember Ram, so smiling face comes beyond me. So that's very nice thing about him.
Thank
Yes,
you.
actually, all the students also can relate to these things after today's session.
Sure. I'm always here. In fact, I would like to invite all of you to India House. My office and house, I have named it India House. I'm a bit little patriotic, so that's why. So,
Thank you so
Anand,
much for the invitation.
Anand, you bring all your students over here. We can show India House. We can have
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
chal.
Definitely.
Namaste.
Okay.
Thank you very
So on
much.
the behalf
Thank you
of
for
College
coming.
of Agriculture Pune, I would like to thank you, sir, for joining us for the today's session.
So thank you all the students. Namaste. Have a great weekend. Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir.
Thank you.
So on the behalf of College of Pune and NSS College of Agriculture Pune, I would like to come to end success. The most important joined here to celebrate the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi ji and Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. In fact, the finest tribute to them would be if we characteristics like they emphasize the courage and perseverance in our daily life. That will be the real tribute to the Mother Nation's brave sons. So thank you so much for joining. Students are requested to wait for some instructions. to Dr. Jadhav, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Anandra.
Sir, thank you, sir. Most
Thank
welcome.
you very much. Such a great personality.